5. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. I'm Philip Kaufman, filling in for Julia Wiegand. A fire broke out early this morning in Berwick that left 1 dog and a dozen cats dead. The call came in early this morning for a structure fire in the 300 block of East 10th Street, where firefighters could see flames from the back of the house. Winter weather made it difficult to reach the home as firefighters fought the intense inferno for several hours. The second floor of the home collapsed, resulting in a total loss of it. The fire started while homeowner Frank Fulkelson was watching TV and felt heat coming from a back wall. He proceeded to run out of the house and immediately call 911. Staying in Berwick, where an ongoing investigation into the distribution of illegal narcotics has been closed. The investigation was conducted by the Berwick Police Department's Special Operations Group, along with the State Attorney General's office. Authorities issued a search warrant and seizure warrant on the home of Robert Brown on January 15th, where the Montour County SWAT team and Williamsport Police found multiple items related to narcotics trafficking. Brown was arrested and charged for possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was arraigned and sent to Columbia County Prison, unable to post $75,000 straight cash bail. A preliminary hearing is set for January 31st. Winter storms could have been costing motorists a few tickets in Hazleton. According to Hazleton Police, 1,400 tickets were given out to vehicles that did not follow the city's snow parking regulations since the past 2 storms. During the past ice storm, police gave out 700 tickets, and we're about to see the same number from the most recent snowstorm. City Council Vice President Lauren Sacco said they've tried to get the word out on snow ban parking through announcements, automated phone messages, social media posts, print, and televised news stories. A Honesdale woman is facing numerous charges after leading police on a high-speed chase along the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Troopers attempted to pull over the driver of a 2021 Hyundai for speeding over 100 miles an hour in Penn Lake Borough back on January 13th. The driver of the vehicle, identified as 21-year-old Brittany Tuttle, slowed down briefly, then took off, reaching speeds of 117 miles per hour. Police pursued Tuttle for nearly 15 miles before using a rolling roadblock maneuver to stop her. She was taken into custody without incident and charged with fleeing or attempting to elude police, reckless endangerment, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Her bail was set at 10% of $25,000 bail. A former Hazleton resident was sentenced on January 13th to serve 57 months behind bars for drug trafficking charges. 30-year-old Richard Notafrancesco previously pled guilty to meth trafficking. He possessed with intent to distribute nearly 500 grams and 1.5 kilos of meth in the Hazleton area back on September 14th of 2019. The case was investigated by Homeland Security, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, State Police, and the State Attorney General's office. State police in Hazleton are investigating a car part theft in Hazel Township. A 30-year-old man told police that someone removed a Cadillac converter from his 2009 Ford pickup truck along Old Airport Road sometime between noon and 2 p.m. back on December 24th. Anyone with information about the incident is being asked to contact PSP Hazleton. The Crestwood School District is putting new masking guidelines into effect starting today. The new guidelines will keep masked students 3 feet apart, while unmasked students will be 6 feet apart in elementary schools. According to Superintendent Robert Mahalik, the district does not have enough space in classrooms to keep students 6 feet apart, so this will lead to fewer students in quarantine. The district learned through responses from elementary school parents that 50% of students will continue to wear masks. There are no guidelines for unmasked students in 7th through 12th grade since there's not enough space to do so in the secondary campus. A celebration took place in Jenkintown to honor the National Day of Healing. Wyln's Mackenzie Ocker has the story.
First Lady Frances Wolf took a trip to Jenkintown, Montgomery County in honor of the Day of Racial Healing. She asks for all Pennsylvanians to use this day of remembrance for the chance to pause, reflect, and rededicate ourselves to creating a more just Commonwealth.
And so days like today are important because racial trauma runs deep in our Commonwealth and in our country. And it is not until we fully face it and give it space to be expressed and give it words and that we truly listen that we can heal our communities.
A mural at the event was unveiled called Symbol of Solidarity, which tells the story of how communities can come together as one. A film was also released with the same name, which touches upon how Brian B. Sketch Bowens uses his talents to help the community to come together during hardships of summer 2020.
The challenge that it presented to him was a unique one because of the way that Brian chooses to express himself, which is to reflect positivity and to create art that will move in a unifying way. And that is exactly what my intention was when I had set out to share this documentary, which is also entitled Symbol of Solidarity, because I wanted my contributions as an artist to also be one that would uplift.
The event ended with OAR Deputy Director Victor Cabral, along with his 9-year-old daughter, Bella Cabral. Cabral brought his daughter along so she could be a part of the event and moment in Pennsylvania history.
A world where we can acknowledge the beauty of our differences as well as the pain of our history. A world where we know ourselves and we know each other deeply and meaningfully. A world where we can extend compassion and unconditional love to our neighbor and where we can recognize our shared humanity.
First Lady Frances Wolf challenges all Pennsylvanians to ask how they can help and contribute to racial healing in their communities. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thank you, Mackenzie. America is honoring the life's work of actress Betty White by participating in a social media challenge. Our Julie Stefanovich has more on how you can help local animal shelters.
A challenge honoring the late, great Betty White has helped raise money for animal shelters across the nation. America's Golden Girl was a longtime advocate of animal rights and causes. And the current challenge has been taking the nation by storm. It encouraged people to donate $5 to local shelters in White's name. The actress and advocate passed away on New Year's Eve, and fans decided to honor her on what would have been her 100th birthday by creating the challenge that asked for donations for the shelters and animal welfare groups. Shelters are responsible for taking care of lost, abused, and abandoned animals no matter what the season, weather conditions, or global health crisis. Many are at max capacity and struggle to keep up with the demand, which can overwhelm them both physically and financially. The recent challenge has brought in much-needed money to help care for our furry friends. Donations from the challenge have been rolling into area shelters, including the SPCA of Luzerne County, the Hazleton Animal Shelter, Carbon County Animal Shelter, and Hillside SPCA in Pottsville. Donations can be made to them year-round, whether it be monetary or wish list items, which often include food and cleaning supplies. You can donate to the Carbon County Animal Shelter by giving them a call at 570-325-4828 or the Hazleton Animal Shelter at 570-454-0640 and the SPCA of Luzerne County at 570-825-4111. You can also help out the animals at Hillside by either visiting their website or by calling 570-622-7769. And lastly, we can all be sure that the shelter animals and staff benefiting from the challenge are grateful to Betty White for being a friend. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on Wyln News, colder temps are calling for an extended code blue in Wilkes-Barre. Plus, it's game day. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old. It's kind of partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman on WYLN TV 35. Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 9.
The Code Blue that was announced last week in Wilkes-Barre has been extended. According to the mayor's office, the Code Blue designation issued from the 14th through the 16th will now last until this Friday, the 21st. The Code Blue Emergency Shelter is located at the Calvary Bible Church on South River Street in the city. Governor Tom Wolf's first county redistricting proposal puts all of Lackawanna and most of Luzerne in the same congressional district. Under Wolf's proposal, Lackawanna and 64 of Luzerne County's 76 municipalities would be part of the 8th District, whose current congressman is U.S. Representative Matt Cartwright, adding 10 more Luzerne towns than in the current 8th. The only Luzerne County towns not in the 8th would be part of the 9th Congressional District under Congressman Dan Muser, including Dallas, Harveys Lake, and Shikshini boroughs, as well as Dallas, Fairmount, Hunlock, Huntington, Lake Lehman, Ross, Salem, and Union townships. Wolf's map also puts all of Carbon and Pike counties in the 8th. An informal deadline of January 24th was set for finalizing a map before February 15th, the first day that candidates can begin circulating nominating petitions. Our WYLN sports crew's already down in Berwick, gearing up for its next 2022 high school basketball game. We kick off with some live Bulldog Cougars action tonight when the ball is in Berwick's court for the boys matchup against Hazleton. Get your favorite fill of Marty Burns, Joe DeMelfi, and our WYLN sports crew bringing you the event, not just the highlights. No plans tonight? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for the 7:30 tip-off and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. Coming up on Beach Haven's News Choice, we talk what should go in your vehicle emergency kit on this Trooper Talk Tuesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 2. Stay with us.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
Moore & Associates, accountants and advisors located at 751 North Church Street in Hazleton. Contact them for all your individual and business tax and accounting needs. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday. I'm Paula Degnan. With me is Pennsylvania State Police Trooper Anthony Petrosky. And how are you today?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you, Paula.
You as well.
Yeah, good
you
to have
as
you
well.
back.
Yeah, well, you know, come around every now and then.
Yeah,
because
that's a good thing.
We're going to talk about stuff that I'm really excited about.
I could tell. Let's do it.
Winter.
Yeah.
Love winter. And one of the things that we hear a lot about is, and it's already happened this season, people getting stuck on the roadway.
Yes.
Now, there are a lot of things that you can do and can't do, but one of the things you can do is be prepared.
Yes.
And an emergency kit?
Yeah. And you know what? People always say, I don't need one of them. It's not going to happen to me. And I've personally run across people when we had to shut the interstate down for several hours due to a crash that said, I don't have any food, I don't have any water, I don't have a blanket, I'm freezing. And so we're giving them supplies that we have in our cars. Plan ahead, have an emergency kit. And it's very simple. It's just a bag you keep in the trunk of your car. You can have a blanket in there, a couple bottles of water, some protein bars, an extra cell phone charger. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And people always forget that because that's your means of communication. You know, if you're stranded on the interstate, you don't really know what's going on except for a couple feet around you. Also a big one too is medication. Now, if you're prescribed medication and you need that and you have to take it frequently, it's good, at least during the winter months, to have some spare medication kept in that bag in case you need to take it. And that's very important. A lot of people don't remember about that. And then if we have the interstate shut down, we're trying to get an ambulance out to your location. It's not easy. So plan ahead, have these things in your bag, be prepared, hope that you never use it, but if you need it, the items are there.
Probably something else that might be a good idea is if you're going out on one of these days, and whether it's cold, whether it's snow, put enough gas in your car.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of your checks you should be doing prior to leaving for your trip. Make sure you have windshield washer fluid. Make sure your windshield wipers are in good working condition. Your headlights are on, because anytime you have your windshield wipers on, your headlights are required by state law to be on. So make sure they're working good, and always make sure you have a full tank of gas. Because if it's cold out and we have to shut the interstate down and you're stuck out there, if your vehicle isn't running, you're not going to have heat. So you need to have fuel in your vehicle to allow it to run to have heat. You're exactly right.
And even some water. Now, again, the water might freeze, but still.
Right. You have to be prepared. You know, too many times If you live in the Hazleton area, we have Interstate 80, we have Interstate 81, and in weather like we've had over the past couple of days, it can get very bad to where we have to shut the interstate down. Sometimes it's momentarily, sometimes it's long term for a few hours. That could be a long time in cold weather, snowy weather. So be prepared, have these items, and again, hope you never use them.
And probably one of the other things too is it doesn't have to be in the wintertime, because you can end up having a tractor trailer, a car, a couple of vehicles collide together or run into a problem. And again, you folks have to shut it down.
Absolutely. And even with construction, sometimes that could get backed up and now it's time to take the medication, or you're really thirsty. You have this stuff in your vehicle. Keep it there. It's always ready to be used.
All right. Trooper Anthony Petrosky from the Pennsylvania State Police in Hazleton, and he will be back, and we will talk more on Trooper Talk Tuesday here on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Amilcar Arroyo is leading the way into part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Amilcar Arroyo. Amilcar, you moved from Peru to the United States, which was a big change. At what point, you said you learned Spanish before you came to?
Sure.
Or you learned English before you
in my years of high school, I was lucky to have an English teacher. English is one of the mandatory subjects in high school. So he made so easy to learn English, so I loved to learn English. I learned a lot during 5 years in high school. When I graduated, I registered in an institute, Peruvian North American Institute, where they taught English. So I took 4 years of English there, so I learned very much English.
What made you look at Hazleton out of all the options you could have come to?
This is a good question, and a lot of people ask me that question. I was landing Miami when I came from Peru, living in Miami, hard to find a job. So I opened one day the Miami Herald and I found a small tiny ad and said looking for workers in Pennsylvania, $4 an hour, and provide meal, housing, and transportation. And I had $10 in my pocket at that time. So I called the phone, and 2 days later I was in Hazleton.
So how did you take a bus? Did you?
Oh no, the guy is a Cuban contractor. He used to get people from Miami to bring to this area in Pennsylvania and another areas seasonal workers to work in farms. I came here to pack tomatoes in a tomato farm in Sugarloaf. That's the way that I came here.
Okay.
And I came here to be a little bit, but I stayed here for 32 years.
And how did the newspaper start?
Sure. I started working in a factory, textile factory. From there, I moved to a phone books factory in Quebecor in Humboldt Industrial Park. At those years, 1996, 1998, the Latino population started growing in this area. And always my idea was to have my own business, to do what I know to do. My degree is in business administration. So I said, let's go start with a newsletter in Spanish to connect the Latino population, the growing Latino population, with the Anglo population.
Did you find a lot of support from the community?
My first edition was only 4 pages, newsletter size, black and white. That was May 2003. Dr. Rojas was my first advertiser. El Mariachi Mexican restaurant and a store in Wyoming Street. It wasn't too easy, but during the years and during the time, the support grew, and I expand my territory until Scranton, Strasbourg.
Wow,
very good support.
That's great. That support definitely helps.
Yes.
Okay. Check back tomorrow night as Amilcar continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.